Welcome to Brain Health Besties, a human-forward podcast for those of us who want to feel better but don't know where to start. I'm Bailey, a licensed professional counselor.
And I'm Nia, a qualified mental health professional.
And I'm Shelby, a human.
We are so glad you're here. And we believe that you deserve to know how your brain works and how to nurture it, even when self-care feels a little challenging.
We focus on kindness to ourselves and recognizing our own needs with as little guilt as possible because your brain deserves a bestie.
Stars in my eyes, I can't see which way is right, but if there's one thing that I know, it's only up front.
Hey besties, the practices we talk about here are great for your brain, but this podcast isn't treatment. If you're feeling overwhelmed, please call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Help is always available.
Hey besties, welcome to this Be Well moment. This connects to episode 19, which was Self-Care is Not Selfish. If you'd like to learn more about that, please tune into that episode. And today we are so excited because we're here with Leslie Smith. She is a wonderful yoga teacher. She is a coach. She is a sound healer. Among many other things, she is one very special human. And she is going to lead us through an exercise today. So, Leslie, would you like to lead us through what you've brought to share with us today?
I would love to. So today's practice is going to be around the idea of affirmations and how we can choose intentional statements to rewire and tell ourselves new stories. And I really wanted to dive not just into affirmations, but also some of the stories that we might have that prevent us from being able to believe those affirmations. So we're calling this the Words That Nourish practice. And whenever you're ready, we'll begin our practice by beginning to tune in. And so that can look different for everyone, depending on where you are. But maybe that means closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Or maybe that just means you begin to notice the sensations around you. Maybe you start to notice the air on your skin. And if it feels okay, you might bring your hand to your heart, like Bailey. And maybe you begin to notice the beating of your heart. Maybe you notice the rise and the fall of your chest and the air as it leaves and enters your nostrils. And if it feels okay, you might say to yourself, I am safe to meet myself here. And so as we breathe and we notice with loving compassion, I invite you to ask your heart for an affirmation that feels nourishing. Maybe slightly uncomfortable because we want to stretch our belief systems to encompass something new, but not too far. Maybe that's something like, I am worthy of love. I am enough just as I am. Or maybe it's, I welcome change as part of life. Or maybe it's entirely different. But when your affirmation has come to your heart, I invite you to state your affirmation out loud or silently to yourself. And as you do, I invite you to notice if any emotions or sensations arise in your body. Without judgment, just notice with loving compassion. Maybe that sensation felt warm and open and inviting, and we can breathe into that. But maybe that sensation felt restrictive. Maybe there's a part of us that doesn't quite believe that affirmation just yet. And so whatever that sensation was, I invite you to breathe into it and ask that sensation what it needs right now. And let the answers flow freely and just witness. And then I invite you to ask yourself, can I give myself what I need today? What small action can I take that will help me embody and live this truth? Now, feeling into your body one more time before we wrap up our practice, I invite you to restate your affirmation in a way that feels fresh and expansive and true to you. And let that nourish your body, your mind, and your spirit. And only when you are ready, I invite you to begin to come back to the air on your skin. Begin to notice the area around you. And before we come back to our time together in community to wrap up, take one more moment to feel your hand on your heart or your affirmation course through your bones. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and notice what's around you. And feel the affirmation flowing through you and around you. And our hope is that you remember this moment. Maybe that's placing your hand back on your heart when you need that reminder as that anchor to ground back into this affirmation. And make it a living embodiment of your truth.
Thank you so much for that, Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we do every time we do a practice is we do some observations. So if you're okay, Nia and I will share some observations. I'll go first. That was the emotions came up for me. My affirmation was, I can be with myself. Oftentimes my go-to is to detach from whatever is going on between the 18 inches between my head and heart, and care for everything else, especially when there's big feelings and sort of trials or struggles in my environment. I tend to detach and conveniently avoid all those feelings. So giving myself permission and almost saying like I can be with myself and that is okay and that I'm capable. It hit me in a different place today. It's something that I felt like I needed to hear, and I think it's going to be a bit before it feels wholly true for me. So that continued practice and growth of saying it and repeating it and then practicing, allowing that to actually be true.
Yes. And to your point, being with the emotions that come up and being witness to them so that they can flow through, so that we can rewire that truth, right? And being present with what is blocking us from making that part of our life every day.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference between, like this just fired for me, between an affirmation just feeling like flowery words and feeling like a true thing.
Yeah, when we combine the conscious mind with the intelligence of the body, right, which is the whole human that we are, it lands a little differently.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thank you too. It's kind of that thing that we talk about a lot in Be Well, is that even though sometimes we are encouraging others to do these things, sometimes, I don't know, for me, it just, like Bailey was saying, I talk about the word permission all the time. So today it was me giving me permission by being able to have that hand over my heart, by being able to just listen to your voice in general, I think is what it was for me today. Our friend that has come to the studio with us today, and it felt so caring from you, as well as to offer it to myself and to be able to stay in it. To be able to stay in it and actually kind of work through some of the things that came up. Mine was something to the effect of, you can do hard things, whatever the hard things are. I know what they are, but to be able to stay with that and just give that kindness and compassion to myself was beautiful. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you for being willing to do that and willing to receive.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. From others and for ourselves, kind of full circle what we were talking about in episode 19 as well. You all and besties, we deserve these moments to care for ourselves, to check in. We deserve words of loving kindness to ourselves as much as we grant them to other folks. We are so grateful to Leslie Smith for joining us and leading us through these practices. Forever grateful to this community as well and the amazing things that you are doing in our community too. So besties, we will see you next time. Take care and be well. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Brain Health Besties so you can find us in the future.
And since sharing is kind, share us with your besties.
If you have mental health or wellness topics you'd like us to chat about, please reach out to bewell@livebrightly.org.
Until next time, be well, besties.
Shining brighter than the sun.